Jason Tardik, how are you? I'm so wonderful today. How are you?
I love that. I'm doing well too.
Well, in my audience today, I'm speaking with Jason Tardik. He is a Wall Street best-selling author. He's an entrepreneur, an investor, and a speaker. And he's here to talk about his book, The Restart Roadmap. Jason, what is this book about?
Yeah, so that book is all about breaking career trends and doing what is best for your career and making sure that you are living the dream you always imagined, as opposed to the dream that might have been set up for you with the system in place. So that's a very exciting chapter of that book. But another big thing that I want to make sure we talk about today is financial strategy. So that's career strategy, but financial strategies today more than ever are so critical. And one thing I want to put out there is that I think when we hear saving strategy, we get a little confused, we get a little intimidated. But with saving strategy, what we need to know is every day we have strategies for basic things like how many cups of coffee we're going to have, when we go to bed, when we wake up. And one tip I want to make sure I leave everyone with is that when it comes to saving, you got to put a strategy in place. And let's start with taking a small amount from our paycheck, dedicated every single time that paycheck comes in, and putting it away towards a savings plan where we can make money on our money.
Jason is talking with us today about optimizing your portfolio also, how a former banker turned reality TV contestant. That's probably a whole nother show there. He's getting real about expanding our savings portfolio financial success. Okay, Jason, talk to the people with a little bit of money. You said even if you're just putting a little money in there. Okay, what do you mean by a little money?
Yeah, well, I think people hear about savings or making money on your money and they get a little bit paralyzed. They don't know where to go. But the good thing to know is rest assured, there are no minimum balance requirements when it comes to an approach like using a CD, a certificate of deposit. And you don't have to be making high six figures to start today. That's something that's critically important. Now, I've been joking around and saying what's trending in the savings approach, like as to Taylor Swift, is CDs right now. And the big thing with CDs is that you are going to get a fixed rate of return. So regardless of how much you have, you are going to get a fixed rate of return for a certain term that you pick. And it's really critical to know that today change is so constant in the marketplace. So having some certainty, guaranteed, and safety with savings is really critical and material.
Jason, this is when you're speaking about thinking long-term, simple ways to save for important goals that require little or no effort. Because once you get that CD, you just, put it out of sight, out of mind?
Right. Well, one of the things is the cost of things are just increasing by the minute, right? The price of homes, maybe going on a big vacation. So you want to be able to make some money on your money while knowing there's safety. Now, one of the big things you want to consider when you're looking at a CD is Capital One's 360 CD. The reason, I mean, there's many, but the big thing is interest rates, very competitive interest rates. It's also customizable. And like I said earlier, there's that no minimum balance requirement. So what you'll do is you'll pick how long the term is of what you're saving for. Maybe in 2 years from now, you want to buy a house. You can pick that term and you'll know exactly what your return will be on the deposit you put into your CD.
Okay. Any other tips of wisdom for my audience listening so they can minimize their risk and over their performance, which isn't tied to the market volatility?
Yes, absolutely. So with risk, the one thing you have to consider is looking through every decision you make and why. With CDs, rest assured, the return is safe. It's guaranteed. It's simple. It's straightforward. The other thing is your original deposit into a CD, you don't have to worry about losing that because it is insured up to the FDIC insurable limits. So those are some critical things. Now, one thing to consider is when you decide how much you're going to put in a CD, for whatever term you're going to put it in, you have to know that you want to keep it in there for that term because there are early withdrawal penalties. But one of the things is to look at interest rates, structures, and strategies. You could just go to CapitalOne.com for all that information.
And when you talk about penalties, this is what goes along with sometimes the restrictions of a CD. You have a set of guidelines, and I'm speaking to those people. You're talking to the people that want to get a little CD, they may have never gotten a CD before. So how do they become educated rather than just trying to get a product and they don't know anything about the product?
Yes, absolutely. And I love that you even brought attention to that, because with every decision you make, you have to know what you're getting into, the pros and cons. But to get all the information regarding CDs and the interest rate and the different structures, you'll just go to CapitalOne.com. And with the Capital One 360 CD, you'll know it's safe, you'll know it's guaranteed, and you'll know exactly the return you're going to get on whatever term you select that best fits your financial needs.
Jason, I know my time is running out, but these questions are coming from the social media platform. And one of the posters wants to know real quickly, how do you build an emergency fund before you even get to a CD?
Yeah, I think that building an emergency fund, you really want to look at what your expenses are monthly and think about what type of runway you want. And the best way is what we talked a little bit about earlier, saving strategy. So you got to put strategies in place to be disciplined with what your money is doing and where it's going. And that also applies to as you're deploying money towards a CD. So building that emergency fund from the money that comes in, and then making sure that you're deploying excess funds to make money on your money is so important, because one thing your listeners got to know, time value of money. Our dollar yesterday is not worth as much as it is today. So deploying it into something like a saving strategy with a Capital One CD is highly effective in today's environment.
Well, my honor to know I spoke with Jason Tartick. If you want to get a copy of his book, which is not related to this topic, but it is a bestseller, it's The Restart Roadmap. Jason, thank you so very much for that quick 101 lesson in money. Please continue to do what you do, because we need your voice in the world. Thank you for being my guest on the Valder Beebe Show.
Thank you so much, Valder. Thank you for having me.
Hi, I'm Valder Beebe, host of the Valder Beebe Show. We have over 1,000 videos on ValderBeebeShow.com and YouTube.com/ValderBeebeShow. We upload new videos daily. Our site is a modern baby boomer platform with news and information important to boomers. Subscribe to YouTube.com/ValderBeebeShow and stay connected as I interview the world's most fascinating people.